Today I'm going to pretty much show you how we teach a case at Chengchi. I gave you a case earlier, and I'm sure that you have read the case. If you have not, it's already too late, right? What we're going to do today is this. I'm going to demonstrate how we teach a case by teaching a case today, which means that you'll be like my students, and I'll be your instructor today. Okay, so you will have a chance to experience what a case teaching environment is like by being a student today. And later on, you can be a teacher, right? If you're interested in doing case teaching in the future. And after we've done the case teaching, and I'm going to give you a lecture on my experience of how I have learned to teach cases. And I also would give you some suggestions as to how you can be prepared to be a case teacher. There are a few rules for our discussion this morning, and I would like you to work with me. The first rule is that please don't use your mobile device, okay, because it's really not necessary. Okay, when you teach a case, you have to let your students know that that's very important. You want them to focus on you, not on the computer. You want to be the focus of their attention, okay? And so please do not use your mobile device this morning. On the other hand, please do not talk to other fellow professors because you don't have to. Because I know better than other professors, right? And the third rule is, if you like to talk, please raise your hand. And when we get excited, sometimes we forget about it. Okay? So please raise your hand. And the fourth rule is, if you don't speak, I'll ask you to talk. Okay? But when I ask you to talk, don't be nervous. All right? Because remember, everyone has something to share. And I'm sure that whatever you share, we can learn a lot. Okay? All right, so today we're going to talk about a case that is very popular at Harvard School. It's a case that is taught to first-year MBA student in the entrepreneurship class. It's a very classic class in the sense that this case can demonstrate what entrepreneurship is really about. So it's really it's the first case that's taught to students who take entrepreneurship classes. And so that's what we're going to do today. It's a simple case, a case that can be understood even without this. Okay? All right, so let's start. Before we start, do you have any questions at all for me? Right? If not, then we're going to enjoy it. Okay? All right. Right, this case is about a company by the name of R&R, right? And what's the name of the main character of the case? Actually, in a case, the main character of the case is usually called the protagonist. Right? So who is the protagonist of the case? Who's the main character of the case? Right? If it's a movie, you know, the main character of the case is like the leading actor of the movie, right? So who's the leading actor of this case? Yeah, see? Okay, now you just broke the first rule. Right? You talk before I ask you to. Okay? Right? So you have to raise your hand first. Right? You have to raise your hand first. Okay? And when I ask you to talk, you talk. Okay? I'm sorry about this, but I'm going to treat you like nice students today. Okay? So let me ask you this question. What's the name of the main character of this case? Anybody would like to raise your hand? All right? Yes?
Bob Reese.
Bob Reese, okay. So Reese is the guy, right? So what kind of business do you want to do in this case? Yes, please.
Adult toy.
All right, so it's it's an adult game, right? What? It's a game, right? It's a game, okay? What do you want to do is a game. What kind of game it is? Yes?
It's a TV game.
Okay, well, it's a game about TV, right? Very good. But what's really, how is the game played?
It's quite very special. I mean, I searched from the internet like YouTube, and
teach a case at school, let me talk about this first. Okay? There are two types of cases. Short or long cases. Usually, Harvard's cases tend to be longer than other cases. And because these cases are pretty long, it really means that the case contains pretty much all the information the student needs for class discussion. So usually, students are not encouraged to visit websites to find out information about the company or to get additional information. But sometimes students do have to do some reading, not to know about the company, but to have sufficient background knowledge of understanding the case. Right? So it's not really necessary to visit the website. Okay? But sometimes we do teach short cases. And short cases have advantages and of course disadvantages. The advantages is that short cases tend to be very focused. Okay? When we discuss a particular issue, a short case is fine. For example, there's a short case that's quite famous, published by Harvard Business Review. It's a case about an employee who used to be a male, who had gone through a sexual sexual transformation? I don't know. He changed from a male to a female. All right. And the case is about how, as the director of the Human Resources Department, you handle a person like that. Think about this. The person used to use boys' toilets, right? Now he's a girl now, so he has to use a girl's toilet. But all the other female employees knew him as a man, not a woman, right? But now a man is in the toilet with them. Okay, so there are various situations that you have to handle when you have an employee like that. That kind of case is very focused, right? It's really about how to handle a situation like this. But in most Harvard cases, the case tend to be long, so situations tend to be more complicated because it's really about real business situations. Okay, all right. So very good. I'm sorry. So how is this game played? Asking questions, all right. So you ask questions, right? To whom? You ask questions to whom?
To players.
To players, yes. You ask questions to other players, right? And then you get score, yes, right? You get if you get it right, right? You get it. Points, right? Scores. If you don't get it right, it's like this, right? It's not fun, right? So this kind of game is called trivia pursuit in general. Okay? Right? Okay. So he wants to do a game like this. Okay. Then why do we call this a TV game?
Initially, it was not.
You just broken my rule. Raise your hand. Yeah, please.
I think initially it was not for the TV, but because he was looking for probably sponsors.
Yes.
And the magazine is very popular in the States.
Okay, so there's it's actually sponsored by somebody, right? All right, so a game like this is called Trivia Pursuit. According to his description, what happened is this game is really about something that you probably know in your life. For example, you probably know movies very well, right? So there will be a Trivia Pursuit game on movies. And in this game, questions will be asked, right? To players, for example, which movie has the highest revenue in history, right? Which movie star has earned the largest number of Oscar awards, right? Or who just recently died, right? Robin Williams, right? Things like that. All these questions are not really serious questions, but trivias, you know. You probably know, you probably don't know, okay? And so so we call it Trivia Pursuit, okay? the type of game that Reese is trying to do is a game that have questions based on TVs. Okay, that's why it's called TV game. Okay. All right. So let me ask you another question. How did he want to do this, right? But how did he make this happen? Yes.
Just to be an integrator to looking for all resources and combine it together to make work.
All right. So he has resources, right? He needs resources to make his business work, right? So what kind of resources did he have?
One of the resources is find someone who can design the game.
All right. So you need a game designer, right? Very good. Right. What does a game designer do? Well, what do you think this game designer do for this TV game?
Maybe in terms of hardware, design the programming, something like that.
Okay. Well, it's a very good thought, but in 1984, computer wasn't really that smart yet. Okay. So what kind of design do you think the designer would do? Yes.
They design all kinds of questions.
All right. So maybe he designed questions, right? But in this case, who actually designed questions?
The one from the TV guide company, the employees design questions.
Okay, so we have
the game designer design the rules of the game.
All right. So game designer design rules, right? Okay, design rules. What are rules so important in a game like this?
Oh, okay. Sorry.
It's okay.
Colors as well, like what colors will appeal to customers?
Okay, the appearances, right? Okay, very good. Which include colors, right? All right. Well, how important are the rules in a game like this? When we play basketball, do we need rules? Right? So there are rules for games like this, right? Yes.
Something like you can fail 3 times or before you are out.
It's something like that, right? So rules are important, okay? Because we need rules so that people know how the game is played, right? So they know how they can engage with each other, right? So the rules are important, okay? So besides rules, and besides appearances like colors, what else do you think are designed by the designer? Have you played a board game before? This is really a board game, right? This is a board game, right? Right? Have you played Monopoly, 大富翁? Right? It's like that, although it's a different type of game, but everybody played Monopoly before, right? So what's to be designed besides the rule, the appearances of the box? The reward system, right? Reward system probably will be in the rule too, right? What else?
Design the questions into different levels. Some are easier, some are difficult. For easier questions, get fewer points. Difficult questions, get
Higher points, right? Yes, right? Yes. What else? Well, in Monopoly, when you play Monopoly, there's a very important aspect of the game, right? Besides rules. Actually, the board is important, right? Right? The board, right? So the guy has to design the board too, okay? So the guy designed the board, right? Things like that. All right. So who else are involved in this business?
The material to use that is the plastic one or the wood or the material?
Yeah, it depends on the material, right? But at that time, the material is paper. Paper was easy. And people weren't that conscientious about sustainability, environment, and so forth. It was on the paper. The board was made by paper, okay? So who else are involved in this business? We have designers now. We have employees who actually design questions. right? Why do you think RIS asked employees of TV Guide to design questions? Why can't they design questions? Yes?
Because the employee of the TV Guide, they know all kinds of, they are familiar with ecology of the TV program. So they could find out the truth.
These guys are, as you said, employees of TV Guide, right? They know TV more than anybody else, right? So it's natural that they are the ones who should make the games, right? Should make the questions, okay? But of course there are issues about this later. We can talk about it, okay? So this guy designed questions. Yes.
I think if we let the potential players to design the question, that will be much more interesting because it's from the player's view.
Yes, it is possible, right? We can talk about that later, right? When we discuss how the game can be modified. But in the beginning, it was really the TV Guide employees who, set the questions. Okay. So who else are involved in this game? Yes.
Manufacturer.
Manufacturer. Very good. Okay. So the manufacturer. All right. So what did manufacturer manufacture?
They produce the game.
Okay. So
hardware.
okay. So what are the components of the game? What do you need for a board game?
The board, the box.
So the board, right? The cotton board, and
The box.
the box, and
The card.
the card,
The dice.
and the dice, right? Very good. I'm sure you played this game before, right? Just like that, right? You did that, right? You need a box to put the dice in, to put the board in, and to put the rule books in, right? These are the components manufactured by manufacturers, right? So who else are involved in the game? It's not enough, right? We don't have a business here, right? Yes.
You need someone to sell the game.
Need somebody to sell the game. Very, very good. So who sells the game in this case? Who did the selling in this case? Who marketed the case? The game? All right, raise your hand first. All right, so. All right, so department stores, right? So we have department stores, okay? So who else will sell the game? Yes. Malls, right? Malls are, in the States, malls,
Inside.
yeah, inside malls there are lots of department stores, right?
Retail store.
The retail stores, right? The other retail stores, right? Other retail stores, okay? All right. So who else are in the selling? Yes.
TV Guide itself.
TV Guide sell. All right, very good. So, what does TV Guide do in the
They provide free advertisement in their TV Guide.
So TV Guide provide free advertising, right? And
they have a mail order.
okay, they also do. They can do mail order, right? What would mail order help selling the game?
Because the TV Guide can reach like 18 million people.
Yes. And so,
So more people can
so people can see it, right? Can see it, right? So if they don't buy the product by mail, they can buy product at someplace else and talk to somebody else, right? But what else did TV Guide do besides provide advertisement, mail order catalog? What else?
Yes, advertisement.
Okay, it's the second time you've broken my rule. Raise your hand first, please. Yes, yeah. Yes, please.
promotion.
Advertisement, right? Okay, yeah. TV Guide did some promotion too, right? What kind of promotion besides free advertising?
They put all the list of the stores that carry the game.
Yes, right? In the advertisement, yes, right? Sometimes the name of the stores appear in the advertisements, right? But what else did TV Guide do to promote the game? According to the case, yes. lucky draw. Okay, they might have that. Okay. Another thing that I would like to remind you is that in our case teaching, try to encourage your students to discuss based on the content of the case. Okay, and that's why at Harvard the case tend to be longer because it reduces the chance that students need to make assumptions. All right, okay. So, all right. So what else did the TV guy do to promote the game? Yes.
TV guys are PR. They can sell this.
Yes.
Or through the PR activity, they can sell this.
So what kind of PR do you think TV guy could do?
Should they connect with a TV program
All
or TV
right.
activities?
Yeah, TV guy is in the TV business, so they are connected to all these TV stations, right? Right. So what can TV stations do for promotion of the game? Yes.
To make some example of the game.
What do you mean by that?
For example, the game code was created. If several questions, they just put it, for example, like 5 or 6. But then the customer know what's going on in the game.
Okay, but how did TV guy use TV stations to let people know about the game? Yes.
They can have the TV program to announce there's a game coming, like CBS Morning News or some talk show. They can talk about the game.
Yeah, the anchorman or anchorwomen, when they talk about the game, the audience would know about the game, right? And they would tell the audience, gee, I played the game, it's so fun, right? Oh, you must play it too, right? How to prove that you're smarter than me, right? Something like this, okay? So the game wouldn't be known to a lot of people, right? And besides TV shows, and they also do similar shows with radio stations, right? All right, what else? Who else are in the game? Yes.
Also the newspaper.
News, yes, of course. The newspaper, right? Newspaper could report stories about TV guy, right? Okay, yes.
And magazine.
Magazine, yes, right? Maybe other magazines want to say something about TV, about this TV game, right? Very good. Okay. So who else is involved in the game now? Besides TV guy, designer, manufacturer, and stores, right? Who else is involved in this business?
Finance.
Huh? Finance, okay. Who provides finance?
And maybe you can find a sponsor, or you can find a bank, or you can find a factory company.
All right, very good. Now there's a factoring company, right? In this, there's a factoring company here. Okay. Now, if you are not in the business field, you may not know what a factoring company do. Okay, what does a factoring company do?
Okay, the factory company can collect the money, collect the fee from the retailer or the department store.
Okay, it does collection, right?
Yes, collection.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. And
Collect the money and pay to the trivia company.
all right, and the pay to the pay to rates, right? To some extent, we're talking about, right? And pay, right? Okay. What else does the factoring company do? Yes.
The customer.
What do you mean? Yeah, it's okay. Yeah.
Just including on these projects, they needed a customer, maybe.
Or they need customer, yes, right? People who would buy the products, right? Oh. All right. Okay, we're gonna talk about other people later. Let's talk about factoring company first, right? Okay. The factoring company, according to him, does at least two things, right? Collect money and pay the producer of the game, right? What else does a factory company do?
They check credit.
They check credit. Very good, right? So they check credit. And that is very important to read. And what does it do? Guarantee payment, very, very good. Right? Which is very important, right? I mean, this factoring company not only they collect money for you, they actually guarantee that if somebody doesn't pay, I pay you, right? That's very important. Okay, what's the name of this company? In this case, what's the name of the company in this case? Yeah. Yes, this is the third time you talk without raising your hand. Now, it is important, right? That's funny, right? But it's important, all right? I'm trying to show how we teach a case. It's very important. Otherwise, it's difficult to manage your case, your class, okay? And case teaching is about managing your class, right? So this is Heller factory, right? Good. Okay, that's right. Heller factory. So who else in the business, in this business now? Besides this factoring company, right? Stores, manufacturers, and so forth. Who else? What else? It's important, right? We want to know who makes the business happen, right? Yes.
Because TV guy only want a lawyer, so he found a guy called Sam Kaplan to initiate a company.
Very good. So we have a guy called Kaplan, right? Okay. So Kaplan. Now, how is Kaplan related to Reese? How is Kaplan related to Reese?
He has been a long time friend.
All right, so he's a friend to Reese, right? Okay. So what did Reese want Kaplan to do for him?
He has been a successful advertising agency, so he has a lot of connections.
Okay, so what did he do in this business for Reese?
He provide office.
All right, so he provide office, right? Very good. And
I'm not so sure about it. He said he plans his line of credit to purchase supplies for the initial round.
okay, line of credit, right? Right. So what happens is when you start a business, you need to spend money, right? Right. And for example, you need to pay bills, right? Utility, telephone bills, and so forth, right? You probably want to hire somebody to work for you, right? So you have to pay the guy too, okay? So you need to pay something, okay? That's why you need some money to run the business, to start a business, okay? So Kaplan is the guy who actually provide that money, right? Okay. So how much money did he provide in this case? Of course, he's going to make money, right? Right? He's going to make a profit, on what he contributed, right? But what is the amount of money that he provided? Oh, actually, it's about $300,000. Okay. So actually, he has a line of credit which is $300,000. So what else did he do? What else did he do? You see, the reason why when we discuss the case, sometimes I will provide answers to the students is because, you see, you have only a fixed amount of time. You need to finish this discussion within that time limit, okay? We have today about 100 minutes to discuss this case. I want to make sure that we finish our discussion within 100 minutes, right? So I cannot let a student to look for the answer in the case, right? But it also shows what? It's very important to encourage your students to be familiar with the case before they come to class. It's very important, okay? If they're not familiar with the case, usually the discussion is not going to be very, very effective, all right? Because the student will learn less, right? Okay, now. So, what else did Kaplan do? Yes?
Yeah. Kaplan found a company called Swiss Colony,
Okay.
who can handle the assembly and shipping.
All right, so we have a company called Swiss Colony, right? Right, so you said the Swiss Colony does assembly,
and shipping.
right? And shipping, right? So very good. Now let's talk about assembly now. What does Swiss Colony assemble?
The game.
The games, right? So what to assemble? What kind of job does Swiss Colony have to do in order to assemble the game? Yes.
Just roll, box, pass, and dice.
Yes. So basically, Swiss Colony put the dice and the box and the cards and the board in the box. That's pretty much what it does, right? Okay, right? So, okay. So, but who give Swiss Colony all these stuffs? Who provides Swiss Colony with board, box, cards, and dice? Yes.
The manufacturer.
Yeah, the manufacturer, right? The manufacturer, right? And once Swiss Colony has finished assembling, the product is shipped to somebody. Where do the products go?
Consumers.
Yes. Okay. Another rule is that consumers do wrong. You should raise your hand, and then when I ask you to talk, you talk. All right. And let's do it again. All right. Okay, please. Well, is it consumers that would receive the game directly from Swiss Colony? You see, you do the same thing as she did. Right? Okay? So it's what? You go to the department stores, right? And then department stores sell to these guys. Okay? So now, that's not. You see, Swiss Colony, right, doing this job, okay, for Kaplan Reese, right? Okay. So what else did Kaplan do for Reese? Yes, please.
He has very good connection with the supplier to make the product.
Okay.
To get lower cost.
Okay, so he actually knows about suppliers a lot, right? What other suppliers you were talking about?
The supplier to make the question box, fold, and the box.
Yeah, so he knows manufacturers very well, right? He knows manufacturers very well. But what other suppliers here?
Paper.
Paper, right? Paper is very, very important in this case, right? It's actually, according to the description of the case, the paper was in short supply at that point, right? So the company needs to get paper so that they can make the game, right? Okay. Very good. Okay. So what is the arrangement between Reese and Kaplan in this case? What is the business arrangement between them? Yes.
Partner.
They are partners. Partners. Could you describe the
They
partnership?
set up a new company.
Okay. What's the name of the company?
This is the Trivia.
All right. So there's a name. It's Trivia
Trivia
Inc.
in Property.
Company, right? Okay. So and they own the company, right?
Yes.
So how much they own each?
Equally.
Okay. Equally means in terms of percentage.
80%.
Yeah, 50%, right? So each one owns 50% of the company, right? Very good. Now let's now. We were talking about how the setting of the game, right? And you guys talked about that somebody helped sell the game, right? Who are the guys who actually would help sell the game besides Reese and Kaplan? Yes. Reese, yes, right? Reese, okay. Reese sell the game, right? So what is the arrangement between Reese and Kaplan in terms of selling?
Okay, this plan and the promotion plan.
Okay. Okay. What kind of plan is that?
Okay. First is the station, newspaper, radio.
Yes. Okay. So we have Reese worked with TV Guide for this, right?
Yes.
Okay. For the things we talked about, right? And then
TV guide the free advertisement for the TV game.
yes.
From
Yes.
video game.
Yes. That's what TV Guide did for the promotion, right?
Yeah.
But what else besides?
And also, besides that, they also have a lot of the sales representative.
All right, so there are a lot of sales rep here, right? Very good. A lot of sales rep here. All right. Okay, so who hires the sales reps? Who hired the sales rep in this case? Who hired the sales rep? Yes.
The toy company.
Okay, what's the name of the company?
So,
It's okay, right? The name of the company is called?
Chengchi or Kmart.
Well, actually, these sales rep, are they employees of JCPenney? Are they employees of JCPenney? Are they employees of JCPenney?
Part of it. And the other is maybe the advertisement agency.
Okay, so now we talked about advertisement already, so let's worry about it later on. Okay, let's now focus more on the sales rep here. Okay, these sales rep, are they employees of these department stores?
No, since Rex has been the rep, toys rep for a long time,
Yeah.
he's developed a network with all the reps, so
Yeah, okay.
it's his personal network.
Okay, so these guys actually represent whom in this case?
Trivial.
Yeah, represent Trivia, right? But actually, do they work for Trivia Inc. or do they work for another company in this case? There's another company, actually it was Risk Company, right? What's the name of the company? Risk Company is called INR, right? Okay, very good. So Risk as a company, it says it's INR, right? INR is owned by whom? By Risk, okay? Right. Okay, so basically, this sales force work for whom? They work for INR. Right. Good. Right. Okay, and then they sell product to these department stores. Right? Right. All right. Now we have pretty much covered everybody in this case. So let's talk about how much they made. That's more interesting, right? Right? I mean, we're talking about money now. It's real. All right? Money excites people. Right? Now let's talk about money now. Okay, now, what is the financial arrangement between Trivia Inc. and INR? Right? What is the financial arrangement between Trivia Inc. and INR? Yes.
Independent company. They just paid a commission for commission to the INR.
So what is the amount of commission?
Maybe 7%.
Okay, 7% is for, yes.
But it's 20%.
All right, so that's 20%, right? Now, 20% of what? Wholesale price. Wholesale price, right? 20% of wholesale price. So let's now make sure we see this now. What is the amount of wholesale price in this case? Okay, now what is wholesale price? If you're not in the business, you may not know what wholesale price is. What is wholesale price? Anybody want to explain wholesale price for other students? Yes.
You mean the price or the cost?
The wholesale price. Wholesale price.
In this case, it's pay off half and 50%.
Okay, wholesale price 12.5, right? But what is wholesale price? Okay, we have wholesale price versus retail price, right? So what's the difference between wholesale price and retail price?
Wholesale means sell to the market. Market sell to the consumers.
Okay, which price is paid by the consumer to get a product? Retail price. Retail price is the price paid by customers, right? Game players, right? So who pays the wholesale price? Retailers, right? Just retailers, right? So retailers pay the wholesale price, right? All right, you see a difference now, right? So the wholesale price now is 12.5. What is the retail price?
$25.
$25, right? In this case, it's 25. Initial, right? Of course, right? Okay, all right. So it's 20% of the wholesale price promised by Trivia Inc. to INR, by base. Okay. Now, somebody talk about 7%. So what is that 7% about? And what is that 7%? Yes, please.
For the factory company, right?
Okay, for the factoring company, what is arrangement? What is financial arrangement for factoring company, for the Heller factory? How much would Heller factoring get for providing these factoring services?
It's 1% of the sale.
1% of the of the wholesale price, right? Very good. All right. Well, how much would the sales rep get? How much would sales rep get? Huh? Yeah. Yes.
20%.
20% is what R&R gets, right? What about the sales rep? They get how much? Somebody actually said it already. They get 7%. Yeah, they get 7%, right? And wholesale price, right? Now we're talking about money now. It's real, okay? Okay, now. So, a Swiss company for doing this service, how much does Swiss company get? Yes.
3.1.
No, not 3.1. That's a lot. Right? Right? How much does Swiss company do? Now remember, Swiss company did a very simple job. Right? They only put what? Yes.
A quarter per box.
Yes, very good. So it's 25 cents per box. Right? Plus what? You also get plus what? They'll get something else. A fixed payment. Yes.
2500 for customer
Yes.
customized computer game.
Yes,
Computer
okay.
program.
Yeah, so get 2,500 for the programs, right? Right? 2,500 for the program, 25 cents per box. Okay, that's what it gets. What about the manufacturers? How much do you think manufacturers would get in this case? Well, somebody talk about 3.1. What's that 3.1 about? Yes.
Assembly, manufacturing, shipping cost.
So assembly, manufacturing, shipping costs, right? Now since Swiss company get 0.25, altogether they get 3.1. So manufacturing probably in this case maybe get 2.85, right? Right? Okay, we go altogether 3.1, right? Right? 2.85, right? So they probably get 2.85 for this. All right? All right? Okay? All right, so what about TV guy? You know, TV guy is important, right? A TV guy is so important, all right? Okay, so besides provides all this promotion, what is the most significant contribution of TV guy to this game? What's the name of the game?
Okay, with the awareness of this game to the public.
Okay, how? How TV guy did that?
Okay.
What is
Free advertisement on the TV.
Yes, the TV guy provides a lot of advertisement, but I would argue that these promotional activities provided by TV guy is not as important as the thing I just asked you. The contribution of the most significant contribution of TV guy to the business.
Designer questions.
Well, designer question is important, right? TV guy employee is that, but what else is more important than that?
I think they create the product category, product, they were the industry, whole industry.
Who created that?
The TV government.
TV guy did that, or who did that? Reese did that, right? Reese the one who created the game, right? Reese created the game, right? Can Reese call this game TV game without TV guy's help? What does that really mean? You need to raise your hand.
The TV games.
The name.
Not name.
Exactly.
So it's a plan.
The name is important, right? TV guy allows Reese to use the name, right? Which is important, all right? All right? That's why we have like all this sports endorsement, right? Right? Okay, why would you want to wear a pair of basketball shoes, right, with Jordan's name on it? Right? I'm sure the quality is not better than other basketball shoes, right? Okay, so basically what TV Guy does is that it licenses to Reese, right? For Reese to use the name, in return, Trivia Inc. will give TV Guide something, right? So what is the financial gain of TV Guide for doing that? What is TV Guide going to?
Royalty.
Yeah, how much?
How much?
Right? I mean, we are talking about money now, guys. Money is important, right? In every business, that's important. Okay? But I must tell you, although I'm from business school, money is not important. I'm just kidding. But it's very important now, right? So how much? How much? How much?
20% commission of the wholesale price.
Well, that is to the INR, right? How much? Yes.
5% discount.
5%? No, you guys are guessing right now, which is not good.
The proposal was 10%.
Yeah, 10%, very good. So TV Guide get 10% on the wholesale price, right? So now we know everybody now, right? Everybody's role is very important now, right? Understood. For Reese, he created the game, right? Reese, contact Kaplan, right? I'm sorry, Reese contact TV Guide first, right? According to the case. So TV Guide would license the game, license the name to Reese, right? And based on that, Reese find Kaplan, right? And find the game designer, right? To design the game, right? And Kaplan provides all these services, and they create Trivia Inc., right? And through Trivia Inc., they can sell the products, right? And then through Kaplan, they have manufacturers and Swiss company, and maybe have a factory, right? That's how it worked, okay? And of course, TV Guide's employees also help set the questions, okay? We also know the financial arrangement here, right? Among themselves, among them. So let me ask you a question. How much money everyone makes, right? That's important, right? Right? How much money everyone makes now, right? So let's talk about it, right? So how much money is made by everybody? So let's try to figure out first now. Now Kaplan, it's easy to figure out Kaplan's profit. Why? Yes.
1 million net. Net income.
He actually made 1 million.
Net.
Yes, net, right? Right, so he made 1 million. Right? What about Reese? Right? How much does Reese make? Think about this. Kaplan makes 1 million. How much does Reese make? Yes. Should be the same. Do you think Reese make the same amount of money as Kaplan? Is it fair if that's the case? We're going to talk about that later. But let me ask you the question. Is it fair for Reese to make the same amount as Kaplan, if indeed was the case?
The same amount is in Trivia.
Inc. Very good. So he get 1 million from Trivia Inc., right? Okay, plus something. Plus what? Guys, plus what? Yes. Okay, R&R. So from R&R, how much he made?
20%.
20% of the wholesale price. So how do you calculate this gain here? There are figures in the case that you can use to do this. In the case that we teach, including the case I write, we will provide enough information for students to do some important calculations. In this case, there are figures in the case that can be used for calculations. First of all, let me ask you, what is the total amount of billing to retailers in dollar terms?
7 million.
7 million, right? So actually we have a very important, so the sales, total sales of Trivia Inc. is 7 million, right? So how much did Reese get? How much did R&R get, which owned by Reese, right? Come on, we're talking about 20% of 7 million, right? So
1.4 million.
1.4 million, right? Very good. So it's 1.5 million, right? So he has 1.4 million, right? Okay, but then Reese has to pay the sales rep, right? 7%. So how much did the sales rep get? 7%, huh?
49.
49, right?
Yeah.
So 49, 490,000, right? Is it? 190,000. Okay. So it's approximately 2 million, right? Less than that, but approximately that amount of 2 million. So we know he makes twice as much as capital, right? Okay, so how much does the sales rep make in this case? Come on, we have the number already.
190,000.
Okay, very good. I really appreciate your presentation. It's really nice. You know, I was just going to joke about that. It's the 5th time that you talk before I ask you. right? Okay. Right. So it's 490,000, right? So it's 490,000, right? 490,000. Well, how about manufacturing? How much did manufacturing make? 1%. So 1% of
Sales.
the 6th time. Please. Yeah, please. Yeah. You see, yes, this is interesting. You see, this is interesting. You see, in a classroom, it's likely that an instructor cannot see all the students, right? Especially there are many students. We have a small group today. Actually, usually we teach about 60 to 90 students. So you know, it's difficult to see everyone. Okay, but then the students tend to be patient, right? And then if a student has been raising hands without being asked to talk, the student will feel disappointed, and then he actually or she will approach you after class, right? If I would say, Professor Chow, you know, I want to talk, but you never asked me to, right? So next time, what you have to do is that you have to pay attention to that student, give that student some chance to talk. Okay, all right, now you can talk. Right? So,
Should I raise my hand?
yes. Now, when I ask you to talk, you don't really have to. Right? So how much?
Sales.
Yeah. So how much is that?
It's about, and
1% of 7 million is what?
yes, 70,000.
Yeah, 70,000. Very good. Very good. 70,000, right? But how about Swiss Colony then? How much do you think Swiss Colony makes? Right? For every box, it makes 25 cents, right? So how many boxes were sold in this case? How many boxes were sold? Well, according to the case, it's yes, please. You just raise your hand, yes.
580.
All right, so 580,000 boxes, right? Right? So Swiss Colony makes how much? 0.25 times what? Times 580, right? Right? Okay, so it's about 130,000, approximately, okay? Let's not use a calculator here, right? So it's approximately 130,000, right? Plus the $2,500 it collects for the program, right? That's pretty much the amount of money he gets, okay? What about the manufacturers? Manufacturers pay get 2.25 per box, right? Right? So manufacturers get 2.85 times what? 580,000, right? So they get about 1.5 meals, okay? 1.5 million, right? Approximately, okay? All right, now, what about the game designer? We forgot to talk about the game designer, right? That's terrible because he should be paid too, right? So the game designer, how much is game designer paid in this case? Yes.
A royalty of 5%.
5%, right? Actually, this 5% is on a sliding scale because if the volume is big, then it could be reduced to 3%, right? Let's just say 5%, how about that, okay? So 5% of 7 million is 350,000, right? So the game designer who get about 350,000, right? Right? Okay? Well, so that's interesting, right? We see this. You know, we have Captain makes 1 million here, okay? Reese makes about 2 million, right? Sales rep gets about 490,000. Manufacturing gets 70,000 here, right? And then this Swiss colony get about 130,000, right? Manufacturer get 1.5, okay? And then game designer get 350. But I would like to remind you that for the manufacturing, of course, you know, the net gain is much less than this, right? Okay. But let me ask you a question. What do you think? Is it fair that everybody gets that amount of payoff? Is it fair? Is it fair that Kaplan get 1 million, Reese get about 2 mil, right? A TV guy, right? We've got TV guy, right? How much the TV guy got? We forgot TV guy. TV guy's important, right? TV guy 10% of that, right? So 700,000, okay? Okay. So, is it fair? Right? Is it fair? What do you think? Yes, please. It was 1984, yes. Yeah. So 30 years ago, it's a lot more today, right? Yes, I agree with you, yes. But what do you think? Well, we're going to talk about fairness relative to, you know, the amount each one makes, right? So is it fair for Kaplan to make 1 mil, right? Reese to make 2, you know, the others, right? What do you think? Yes. Oh, okay, so that's a good point. You're saying that, gee, you know, they're willing to do that, right? So it must be fair, right? Otherwise, they're not going to do that, right? Right, that's a good point. What do you think? You see, every professor thinks that he or she is paid too little, right? But I'm willing to teach for Chengchi, you know. Right? Right? What do you think? Yeah.
We're talking about TV guide.
We're talking about
Everything.
yeah.
I would say TV guide is paid to it because everything is built on his name,
Okay.
and the branding should be very expensive. But because in the beginning they didn't expect that with such a fortune, for them it's just taking a free ride of the whole plant. So and they make this much, but I would say in the future they won't be satisfied.
So if they're going to do another game, then TV guy probably want to have more, you're saying. Okay, good. What else? Yes.
With manufacturers, probably is no one unless.
Okay. Because you think that there's cost to it, right? For manufacturer, you think it's less. Okay. Why do you think it's it makes too little? Well, you know all these big names in Taiwan that assemble iPhones for Apple, right? Like, you know, Honghai, right? Foxconn, you know, they make like 1 or 2%, right, of the sales price, right, in net income. Okay, is it fair to them? Yes.
I'm just thinking about it. I won't say that this is fair or not fair, because for this deal, I think it's a contract based. So when we sign the contract, I agree with you.
That's it, right? People say, right? I mean, we sign it, so that's it, right?
So I'm thinking about the next stage. Probably some of the team members will think it's earn more from other
Who do you think would want to earn more?
Yeah, generally, I think it will depend on who actually own the core resources.
All right.
So then probably,
So basically, you say, hey, who actually own the core resources, right? All right. What do you mean by that?
for example, if everybody thinks that now the trivial game is a big brand, then maybe Evelyn and Grace can have the core resources because they represent the brand.
Okay.
And someone like a retailer think they have a big channel, then maybe they want to sell other people's TV games.
Okay.
Something like that.
So you're saying that brand, channel, all these are important resources, right? Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Very good. All right. What else? Well, actually, did you raise your hand?
No.
You did
I
not?
just say someone.
I was going to let you talk because you have to talk.
Yeah.
Right? Right? You want to talk? You want to try?
Actually, I agree.
Yeah.
Not the issue of pay or not. Yeah, that's because they got a contract and they are willing to do that. And we always complain that the manufacturer, very too little, but that's the life, the reality. Yeah.
Okay. What do you think? Too little. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Well, okay, the inventory is not the cost of the Hello Factory. Inventory is the cost of the company. It's just unsold merchandise. Okay. But in terms of bad debt, it could be related to the Hello Factory. I'm not so sure. Okay. But you're right. Hello Factory assumes some risk, right? And whether Hello Factory is paid enough can be discussed, right? Very good. Now, let's just say that we have to consider whether these guys are paid fairly or not. Okay, let's just assume that we need to do this discussion now. What would the criteria for for considering that? For example, we talk about risk, right? At one base, we talk about who has the resources, right? We talk about whether they actually willingly enter into this contractual arrangement, right? What else do you think should be considered? Okay, what do you mean by that in this case?
In this case, like the main race, he initiate all the
Okay, so
team up with the right person and right up.
okay, so it's initiator, right? Who initiated the whole thing? Who's got an idea, right? Very good. Right. Who else? What else? Yes.
From the whole country's perspective, this model is quite popular in the United States. And it is probably a main reason that the United States so far has the highest debt in the world.
What do you think?
Because for the manufacturing part, many of the goods are produced abroad.
Yes.
So even though foreign countries earn not much, but in the longer term, although many Americans become very rich, the whole country have very, very high debt because of imports greater than exports.
Okay. Well, that's a very good comment. But let's not focus on risk a little bit. So what other factors that you would like to consider for talk about that? Yeah.
I would say our value creator should take the biggest share.
What do you mean by value creator?
The research integrator and that's REIT.
Yeah.
Race. So
Okay,
create
so-
everything, or
Okay.
put everything, integrate everything together.
So
They
who
have-
is the integrator, right? Very good. This is a very good word, choice of word, right? Integrator. Who is the integrator of this? Well, so, you know, in finance, I teach finance, okay? I'm not sure if anyone here teaches finance here. Yeah, please raise your hand. Who teaches finance? You teach finance, right? Very good. So in finance, what determines return?
Many ways.
Well, the most significant, most important factor we can see that when we think about the determinant of the rate of return, what should that be? Is risk, right? All finance professors are trained to believe that risk is the most important factor that will determine return, right? Okay, so why don't we just follow that line and think about what we have discussed so far, okay? Now, first of all, let me ask you a question, okay? What are the respective risks that are borne by each individual participant? Let's talk about Swiss colony first, okay? What kind of risk does Swiss colony has to bear? Yes?
I would say 0.
0, why?
Because he was, so he received the money on the basis by their labor. So I'm sorry.
No, you're absolutely right. Basically, what you're trying to say is this: Swiss colony just provide a service, right? When you give me components, I put all these components in a box, I ship it out, you pay me 25 cents. There's not much risk to it, right? Right? I'm sorry, I need to turn it up. Right? So there's no risk. Right? No risk. Which is interesting, right? So there's no risk. Right? What about sales rep here? Yes.
Can I ask a question about no risk?
Yeah, please.
Why Swiss colony doesn't have any risk? If he has a big warehouse and all the boxes are there, occupying all the warehouse, in some way he has the risk of not being able to do a turnover.
Okay. Well, you're absolutely.
Shouldn't that be considered a kind of a risk?
You are absolutely right. I mean, Swiss colony probably had a warehouse, right, for storing the things. But in this case, the Swiss colony have to bear a lot of this kind of warehousing risk. Does it have to? In this case, think about it. What's the range in this case? When would Swiss colony receive the box and dices and the cards and the boards? When would Swiss colony receive them? In this case. Yes.
After they get an order?
Yes.
So
right.
there's no inventory?
After Trivia Inc. has got an order, right? Okay, right? And then when would the boxes be shipped to the department stores, to the retailers?
I think before the Swiss companies transport the products, do they put it in the storage room?
Well, yeah, probably. I mean, of course, when the boxes and everything's here, it has to be somewhere, right? But then, this thing is not going to come until what? Until the order is certain, right? And then where would the finished product be sent to the retailers?
If the rental house or the rental higher, the price get higher, it's not easy to afford the rental.
What the Swiss colony look like it already has a warehouse, right? Before it does the business, right? Before it did the business, right? Otherwise, I mean, it's difficult for Swiss colony to do this kind of business. Unlikely Swiss company actually makes new warehouse just to do this business. Unlikely, right? At least it's not the case.
You mean Swiss own the warehouse?
Well, maybe it owns the warehouse, or maybe it has rented the warehouse. It's
I mean,
possible.
it's a rental that would be a risk.
Why would that be a risk?
Because the owner wants to raise the price. Mostly.
Oh, that's a good point, right? If Swiss company actually rented a warehouse, and then there's no business for Swiss company will be a big trouble, right? But the issue then would then be, that's a very good point. The issue is whether Swiss company rents extra space just to wait for the merchandise to come in, which we don't know. But in this case, it's not like, okay, it's not like the Swiss company does that. Because Swiss company has done this business for, mail order business for a long time. Okay, yeah.
It's manufacturing in Wisconsin, Madison, producing cheese, so it should have a lot of work.
Okay, not likely, but it's possible. Okay, but then again, when would these boxes be shipped to retail stores?
I think you mentioned just in time, right?
Just in time, yeah.
So no warehouse cost.
Well, maybe there is some, but then the warehouse cost should be very minimal.
One question is that Swiss economy needs to suffer the material cost price increase.
Why would Swiss company suffer this material cost?
I don't know, that's my question. Because you only mentioned medicine as a supplier.
Yes.
So the food is just in time. That doesn't mention whether the price is valuable or not.
Okay, how would Swiss company be paid in this case?
The service charge.
Yeah, 25 cents per box.
I'm not sure.
What else does Swiss company have to pay? In this case, does Swiss company have to pay to get a board, box, cards, and dices? What does Swiss company do? I mean, in this case, right?
Labor cost.
Labor cost, right?
Capital cost.
Yeah, capital cost. Right? I mean, I'm Swiss company. You are the manufacturer. You give me the box, cards, boards. I put them together. I give it to retailer. That's what I do. I don't pay you. Who pays manufacturers? Who pays manufacturers? Yes, Trivia Inc. pays manufacturers, right? Okay. So Swiss company doesn't pay. Swiss company only provides a labor service, right? So the risk is low. Okay, the risk is low. But we probably shouldn't say no risk, but risk is low, right? How about a sales rep then? What's the risk that sales rep have to bear? Yes.
Opportunity cost.
Opportunity cost. Right. Everybody has that, right? Swiss company has that too, right? So sales rep has this opportunity cost, right? Right? Time, right? I spend time, I may not be able to sell a lot. Okay? All right? However, now let's talk about this. When Swiss company, who actually, we say Swiss company has low risk or no risk. Low or no?
Excuse me, sir.
Huh?
Excuse me, sir. We're students back here, and can you explain opportunity cost first?
Oh, all right. Opportunity cost is like the cost you have is the benefit you have to forego in order to do one thing rather than the other. For example, you are here this morning to attend this session. You are not going to a movie, right? The fact that you forego the movie can be considered opportunity cost. But that's a loose definition. Opportunity cost should be compared based should be discussed on the same basis across different opportunities. For example, it's easier to think in terms of finance, right, guys? Suppose you buy stock A, right? But then you have to go for stock B, and the opportunity cost for you is stock B, right? But if stock A and stock B both have the same risk, that would be a good comparison. But if stock B, risk is different from stock A's, then you probably can talk about opportunity cost in a very correct way, okay? Because you're comparing different things. Okay, with me, all right? So take this example here. Just suppose that there's another session here today you can go, which is about the same quality as we are having today. By not going there, would be the opportunity cost. Okay, I'm not sure how much you pay today, right? Right?
thinking that they can be a professor teaching accounting and finance at school.
And doing this.
And doing this, yes, with monthly pays at $100,000. Okay, but they are not willing to do that. They prefer to be a suspect. Yeah, with say 300,000. Okay, so the difference is 200,000.
Well, in this case, according to my definition, it's probably not the case. Basically, it should be like, this sales rep can actually work for Reese, for example, to sell this board game. They also can work for somebody else who sells similar board games. Right? The fact that they chose to sell to help Reese rather than the other guy, right? The potential revenue they could have got on the other guy would be there. The potential revenue it is the opportunity cost.
Yes, that's also what I said.
Yeah, but the problem, opportunity cost. Everybody has opportunity cost, right? That's okay. But let me ask you a question then. Who actually, in this case, we say that Swiss companies' risk is very low, right? Who makes the risk low for Swiss company in this case? Yes.
Not manufacturing company.
Okay, but who actually manufacturing company makes Swiss companies' risk very low, right? But who makes manufacturing do that? Huh? Kaplan. And who makes Kaplan do that? Reese. Right? Okay, so Reese actually handled the risk of Swiss company. What about that? Okay, what is the risk of sales rep? Besides opportunity cost, everybody has that. What's the risk of the sales rep? Well, it's really the opportunity cost, right? I spend time on this, and it may turns out that this game is bad, right? Nobody wants to buy it. In that case, I'm not making the money I should have, right? But that's pretty much all the risk that sales rep is making. But let's talk about this. Right? Who actually makes the risk of the sales rep pretty low in this case? You cannot talk. Yes.
Yeah, also risk.
Also risk, right? But how did Reese make sure that the sales rep risk is low? What did Reese do to make sure the sales rep risk is low? Meaning that, what did Reese do to make sure that the sales rep actually in the end could have pretty good income? What did Reese do to do that?
He runs the R&R company.
He runs this R&R company.
Sales representative.
He knows them very well. Not only so, he got TV Guide. This is a good name, right? And, right, TV Guide is a good name. Everybody watches TV. On average, every family in the States, according to the case, watch 7 hours of TV, right? Right? At least 17 million people subscribe to TV Guide, right? Or buy TV Guide, right? And also because this game is in a fashion right now, right? Because of the Trivial Pursuit phenomenon here, right? Trivial Pursuit games have become so popular that, according to that industry, one feature of that industry is that when we have a fair like that, almost every game can be sold by well, right? So Reese actually makes sure that this game will probably have a pretty good sale by doing this, right? He also had the game promoted by TV Guide in the advertisement, in TV shows, in radio shows, and so forth, right? Are you with me? So Reese also made the sales reps risk actually pretty low in this case. Okay? Right? Because these guys are experienced. Sales rep, they know what kinds are going to be a good sale, right? Are you with me? So the risk is not. Okay. Well, what about TV Guide? What is the risk of TV Guide? What's the risk of TV Guide in this case?
If the sales is not that good, probably the name reputation of the TV guide will be ruined.
Yeah, reputation here, right? There's a reputation risk here. Okay. But how is the reputational risk managed in this case? How is reputational risk managed in this case? Yes, please. The quality of the product. How is the quality of the product assured in this case? Yes.
They choose the good company.
Well, you work with risk, right? Why did risk reduce the risk of TV guide?
He found the best game designer.
Well, risk find a good designer, right? Game design, and what else? Why is it that risk is a low risk, right? Why is it that Bob risk is a low risk for TV guide?
The quality of the whole game is very good.
Yes, but why working with risk can ensure the quality is not going to be too bad?
I think that from the rest, with the background is very educated and seems very responsible.
So risk background actually pretty much says what? He could do this, right? He had extensive experience in that, he had good reputation, he ran 2 companies before and so forth, right? And he had a good network of these salespeople, right? So risk can give TV guys some confidence that this is probably going to work. My reputation risk is what? Is very low, right? It's very low, right? Okay. And then TV guy did another thing to manage the risk. TV guy actually insists that the questions have to be set by TV guy employees because TV guy want to make sure that the questions are correct, right? And TV guy employees know TV programs better than other people, right? They want to make sure that it's also the case, right? So TV guy manage risk. What is the risk of Kaplan? What's the risk of Kaplan? Risk partner. What's the risk of Kaplan? Yes. What is Kaplan going to lose if the business is bad?
I think the low risk because they have the equal responsibility.
Yes.
The rest and less friends and they have long-term. No, they know each other for a long time.
So Kaplan probably also understand what Reese has been doing, right? So in his perspective, this may not be a high risk stuff, right? Business. But besides that, what about the financial risk of Kaplan? Is it very high? Yes.
Yeah, it is quite high. The company needs to provide the initial line of credit for 300,000 to pay the manufacturer, the designer, etc. So if the game didn't sell well, then he would lose money.
So Kaplan has some financial risk, right? But the risk is mainly for the setup of the business, right? Afterwards, the risk is really low. Afterwards, the financial risk is very low. Why? Because these retailer, right? They have to make orders, right, before their name can appear in the advertisement, right? And all sales are final, right? Okay? And without an order, manufacturers will not be asked to produce, right? And without an order, Swiss Colony will not do the service, right? Are you with me? And then if they have this factoring company who would what? Check the credit of the retailer, right? And collect the payment and guarantee the payment, right? So the total financial risk is actually very, very low for Kaplan and for risk, right? Right? Besides this initial setup cost. Are you with me? So what about the risk of header factoring? What's the risk of header factoring? What's the risk of header factoring in this case? Yes.
Excuse me, I got a question. How can you make sure the order is there?
Oh, okay. What do you think in this case? How do they make sure there's order?
I don't know, that's.
But I'm asking you now. Right? I mean, I'm the teacher, you're a student. You're supposed to answer my question. What do you think?
Call out.
What do you think? What do you think? This is a good question. What do you think? How are the orders pretty much ensured? Yeah. What do you think? You want to help? Another question. We have to address this issue first.
Yeah. I think if the product is good, and some people play this and think it's good, so instead of the good reputation, so they kind of spread word by word.
So first of all, product has to be good, right? And people want to talk about, right?
So this is good. I introduced for you.
Yeah, so we have a good name, right? Good questions, promotion, right? Okay, what else?
You mentioned like the system before, right? So this is the critical in the business.
Exactly,
But,
right?
I think the question is how to guarantee the order class.
Okay, well, all orders are final, remember? We talked about that. All orders are final, so you cannot cancel.
But my question is, how can you
Guarantee it, and then you ask them to pay deposit.
pay the deposit? Sorry, I'm not.
No, that's fine. That's fine. It's fine. I mean, all orders are final really means that you cannot return the merchandise. You have to pay me. Usually there's a credit term like maybe 30 to 90 days, for example. Right? So if I deliver the merchandise to you, you pay me the 60 days afterwards. All right? That's why they need something called header factoring. Right? All right? And a lot of these stores that we did business with are big names. Right? They're like JCPenney, Macy's, these are big name companies. They would not default on a small amount of money like that. Okay, so the chance that they're going to lose money is not very high. Okay, right? Okay, so what about header factoring then? Back then, right? But how does header factoring make sure that the risk is not very high? Yes.
I think you pay the final software. Say those customers are event customers.
Yes. And then there are maybe some small retailers, right? And what about small retailers? How did header factoring manage the risk?
They did credit check already.
Yeah.
And so the small stores, they have to order first. So I think the risk is minimized.
Well, for one thing, that's header factoring's business. That's what it does for a living, right? Header factoring makes money by check credit, guarantee payment, collecting money, and paying the customers. Right? That's what it does. That's why, because it's very good at that, it makes only what? 1%. Right? 1%. Right? What about department stores here? Retailers, what about their risk? Do they have a lot of risk? They seem to have, right? All orders are final. Right? What about retailers here? What about their risk? What do you think? Yes. Oh, okay. So maybe the Fed would disappear in the future, right? So they have risk, right? It seems they have risk, right? But in this case, how is their risk managed? And by whom? Do they really have a lot of risk?
The difference between the sales price and the retailer price
Is about, the markup is about 50%, right? So 12.5 versus 25, right?
So in the worst case, they can sell it very cheap.
They can sell at discount, right? Okay, maybe can sell at discount. What else? What else is yeah, yes.
Can I say shelf space, like the storage shelf? Like probably if he give the shelf to other product, then he can make more money than this.
So if they can put these games in very conspicuous shelf space, right, for customers to see, right? What else do you think? What do REITs do to reduce the risk of these retail stores? What do REITs do for them? Yeah, REITs did all this promotion for them, right? And what else did REITs do? We just talked about it. What is the best guarantee for good sale? What's the best guarantee for a product to be sold well? Yeah.
Good product.
A good product, right? So, everyone involved in this business, right, is bearing pretty minimal risk, right? Very minimal risk. Because of who? Because of risk. Customers. Okay. So let me ask you a question then. What do you think is entrepreneurship? Do you think risk is entrepreneur? Yeah. What do you think? What do you think is entrepreneurship? Right? How would you define entrepreneurship? Right? And do you think risk is a good entrepreneur? Right? What do you think? What do you think? Yeah.
Okay, find a product and find a partner, set up a company, and find a manufacturing factory and partner, TV guy.
Okay. Right. So you are saying that, gee, entrepreneurs should have some idea, right? It's a product we want. And entrepreneurs should know who can be partnered with, right? Right? And entrepreneurs should be able to integrate all the resources, right? And besides, what do you think? Okay, so this guy needs some knowledge too, right? In this case, Reese has some knowledge, right? Because he has been in this business for a long time, right? So what else? Please remember, don't talk with your colleagues, okay? Yes.
Find money.
Huh?
Find money.
Find money. Yeah, that's resources, right? What else? What else? Yes.
And allocate the profit.
Allocated profit, right? That's very important. We want the deal to be fair. The question we ask, is the deal fair, right? So everybody makes this amount of money. Is it fair? Yes, we're all willingly enter into the contract. But before the final results are known, right? We don't know if it's fair or not. It's better for you to what? To have an arrangement that will ensure that when everything's settled, people involved feel it's fair, right? Are you with me? It's very important in business, right? It has to be fair, okay? Right? So it has to be fair, right? The deal has to be fair. What else do you think can define entrepreneurship? Yes. Yes. How to do that, right? Let me ask you a very important question in this case. What was the duration of the business? How long did it take for Reese to do everything and make the profit? How long was the duration? What is the duration of the business, right? When did he start having this idea that this could be a good thing? Think about it. When did he start having the idea? Well, actually, it was summer of 1983, right? Right? He saw the game in Canada, right? Right? Okay. And then when did he write the first letter to TV Guide? So October, right? And when did he finalize the agreement with TV Guide? In December, right? Right. So in December, he finished his and then in December, he finished his negotiation with TV Guide, right? And then there's a big thing that's going to happen in 1984. What is that thing? There's a trade show here, right? So it's February of 84, right? Okay, and then the next big thing is what? Is the 4 to 6 weeks before Christmas, right? Right? Which is about November. When during this period of time, that's when customers buy the game. This is a time when retailers order the game, right? Okay. So actually, by March or by April, actually, all right, they will probably know how much will be ordered, right? And from August 1983 till December 84, altogether it's about 18 months, right? 18 months. When did Reese work the hardest? When did Reese work the hardest, right? Think about this. Well, he actually worked the hardest between October and what? And February. Right? It's like 4 or 5 months. Now afterwards, it's over actually. Right? Afterwards, it's over. Right? And then, you know, he made how much money? $2 million. That's in $1984. Right? Today it could be 4, 5, right? Depending on inflation. Okay? So an entrepreneur sees opportunity, commit to it, get resources, treating everybody fair, right? That's what entrepreneurship is. All right. So do you have any questions for me? Yes. In me? Yes. Oh, I've thought about it all the time, you know. But just that I'm so interested in what I'm doing right now. So I don't think I want to have my own business. Okay. Yeah. But I might consider that after October. Right? Before Christmas. Before Christmas, yes. Before Christmas. All right. Any questions? Right. If not, then what we have done today is to demonstrate to you how we actually teach a case. All right. There are a few things that I ask you to work with me, not to embarrass you, but for you to see how you can manage your class. Okay. A few things, please remember. You need to be well prepared before coming to class because you're the instructor, and you would like your students to be well prepared too. So encourage them to read the case, discuss the case before coming to class, and you want to make sure that you can manage your class well. Okay, meaning that you want to make sure that you don't want the class to become chaotic. So you want to make sure that students don't talk unless you ask them to do. You want them not to talk to each other. You want them to concentrate on you. Okay, so usually I don't allow students to use mobile devices. Okay, and also during the class you have to. I'll talk about that later. Okay, during the class you want to try to as much as you can to make sure that the students always discuss the main issues we wanted to discuss. Okay, because before you come to class, you know what you have to teach, right? I want to make sure that everything is covered. Okay. Today when I come, I plan to teach for about 100 minutes. We've done that pretty much within 100 minutes, but because we did not start on time, right? So now it's about 100 minutes. Okay. I plan to teach you several things, right? One is that I want you to understand what entrepreneurship is, right? In order for you to understand entrepreneurship, we have to understand Reed's business, right? How he arranged to have the business done, right? How he integrated all the resources, right? And what are the final results for everybody, right? And we also have to discuss the risk involved in this case because that's the essence of this case, right? Pretty much nobody bears too much risk in this case. Okay, because risk managed such that everybody's risk is pretty manageable and pretty low. Okay, and that's a special ability of risk. And that's why he has been so successful. And his payoff is not too bad. Okay, because he worked for 4 or 5 months very hard and making about $2 million. Right, so it's not too bad, right? I also want to make sure that in this within this 100 minutes, you have a chance to see how we manage the class. Okay, teaching a case is about managing a class. I'll talk about that later. So any questions? Well, if not, then yeah. Japanese culture and American culture. Oh, so you are asking $1 million question. It's a huge question. I don't think I can answer it right within a very short period of time. But if you are interested, we can talk about it after the class. Okay? Yeah. So yes.
I think since it use a lot of energy, we have to update because here we need to pay attention to the students. So you don't want to ignore any student, and you want to write on the board to be well and organized. I think it's more and more difficult than you can the game and PowerPoint. And I wonder is we use a lot of energy and how many hours we can afford to use this method.
Oh, all right. To prepare for this case, it depends on whether this is the first time you teach it or not. Okay, I'll talk about that in our next hour. Okay, that's a very good question. All right. Okay. All right. So let's have a break for 20 minutes. All right. I'll see you. All right.